basketball to talk about last night. This series is a little wonky, I'm not gonna lie to you, but we will get through it together, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, OKC. First, you get the trophy. There's a big old MVP hardware for SGA. And then, you know, a nice little 118-103 victory, a 2-0 lead as they go up to Minnesota. He finishes with 38 and 8. Chet with 22 and 4. Jalen Williams had 26. Ant finishes with 32. Jaden McDaniels had 22 points, 4 of 8 from 3. But bit of a blowout in this one, despite shooting below 28% from 3 and being outscored in bench points. That's OKC, by the way, in the win. It's really just, Lou, we'll start with you. It just seems like OKC's just that much better than everybody.
It's levels. It's levels. And, you know, me personally, I thought their best series was going to come from Denver. And obviously that was the case. Denver taking them to 7. They breezed through Memphis. It looks like they're going to breeze through Minnesota. I expect Minnesota to fight back, but it looks like, you know, they're going to breeze through these guys. And again, sometimes it doesn't show up in the numbers, but when your bench doesn't play how you want them to play and you're playing against a better bench, you expect your starters to step up, and that's what happened. You know, Oklahoma City, they had 3 guys with 22+ in their starting lineup. Minnesota has 3 guys with less than 6 points in their starting lineup, you know, and so very top-heavy, very, very unmatched. You know, usually Minnesota has matchups that are favorable to them. They can use McDaniels on the defensive end. Shai doesn't care who's guarding him right now. He's in a magical moment right now where, you know, he's just playing at a high level. It doesn't matter what obstacles you're putting in front of this team and him individually, they're going to keep rolling.
Someone call those 3 guys on the Thunder a big 3, Lou.
A trio.
Yeah.
I mean, by definition, it's a trio.
By technical terms, to me personally, I think it's SGA and the guys. I think that's how I look at it. That's how they market it. And because again, some of these guys, Jalen Williams has turned into a very, very talented all-star caliber player. Chet Holmgren has turned into an all-star caliber guy. He is soon to get his as well. But they didn't come in together collectively.
Right.
They were never billed as a collective. That's why I'm kind of fighting the trio thing or anything. So I still think SGA is the best individual player on that team, and then everybody else does their part.
And by the way, you're not wrong, and I think that's how they look at themselves. Yeah. There's a pecking order there, and there is roles, and everyone has mastered their roles. And even when the team shoots 27% from 3, it doesn't matter because they shoot 50% from the field. Right. They turn you over 14 times to their 6 turnovers. They outbeat you 47-44 in the paint. So they're getting turnovers, they're causing turnovers, they're getting out in transition, and they're getting easy buckets. No matter if they're hitting shots, if they're not, they still can beat you in so many different ways. And it starts with their defense. They get out in the break. I think they were 16-9, the fast break. So every single offensive statistical category, they dominate, and it's all stemmed from their defense. Their defense is so, so good.
I don't like you guys writing off Minnesota like this because you know how hard it is to play in Minnesota, and Oklahoma City does what Oklahoma City does in Oklahoma City. So,
and the Timberwolves are.
Do you really mean this with all your heart?
I'm being serious because Minnesota is a hostile environment. Like we've seen it.
And they're 4-1 at home in the playoffs, Minnesota. So they are a much better.
Do you see that team right now?
I just think there's layers. There's a reason why Oklahoma City was 16 games better than everybody this year. They're showing it in the postseason. It's not a. You can put a lot of teams in this spot. It's my situation, how I feel about it is necessarily Minnesota. But again, when you got 3 guys, especially your second, we talking about a trio. Julius Randle, we can't do 6 points. We just can't do it. We can't afford it at this point. You can't not be in the game during the fourth quarter. I know this thing kind of got lopsided, but these are the guys that need to step up. Mike Conley is your veteran leadership. He got to give you those open 3-pointers where he's been valuable in the playoffs. So it's not a matter of me writing them off, but OKC plays better basketball. And like Chandler just said it, if I'm going to shoot 27% from 3, you can't shoot 28 from 3, especially allowing me to shoot 50% from the field within the 3-point line, you know, from there. They find so many different ways to beat you. They made Minnesota go into a zone last night. That's something we haven't seen from them. So when you see a team starting to adjust so early in a series and you win 2 convincing games, I'm not writing you off. I just think this is a better basketball team.
I just think there is a pathway for Minnesota to win with going back home. Like, you watch some parts of the game where they made Oklahoma City shoot 3s. Like, if you pack the paint and don't let them get in the paint, make them shoot 3s, I think there's a chance. If you clean up your third quarters, the third quarter in the first game, I think they scored 18 points. Last night they scored 21.
George,
There it is again.
I'm getting my own line used on me. Golly.
The problem is last night they actually played better and they attacked them better, and Anthony Edwards made good decisions where he found McDaniels in the corner for some 3s, and they didn't make the shots, but I think they had the recipe for success last night. They just got outmanned, out-talented. The the Thunder's defense is so stifling. No matter how many counters you make and how many different sets you run, they're still going to get in the passing lanes. They're still going to be physical with you. So it's almost like the Thunder have a counter for their offense with their defense. Like it's
a lot of times they don't even have to counter though, Chandler, because they turn good to great shots. Like they never fight for open shots. They wait until we find something good and we're going to take the best available shot. That's a dangerous team to play, and they are efficient when they do it. They just shot 50 from the field. So it doesn't matter about the three-point line, especially if you're going to eliminate yourself from the three, and we're going to shoot damn near the same thing percentage-wise, then we're gonna find other ways to beat you, and they did that.
It just feels like the Thunder can win a game with not everyone playing their best. It feels like the Timberwolves have to be clicking on all cylinders. Their bench has to be good. Julius Randle can't have 6 points. Gobert's got to have a double-double. And Anthony Edwards, again, 12 for 26 last night. He was more aggressive at least, and I thought he played much better last night. He was more aggressive. He got downhill. He put pressure. But there were so many possessions where he's trying to get by Cason Wallace. He's trying to get by Lou Dort, and he can't. And this dude is so good one-on-one, but their help side, their weak side is so good. They move their feet so well. Alex Caruso did a great job guarding bigger guys. So this defense really is, I think it's one of the best defenses I've ever seen.
Oh, well, hold that thought.
It's unbelievable.
Because let me give you some numbers for that right here. NBA single playoff record already for turnover differential. It's plus 91. Oof. They only have 13 games so far for that number. Kawhi's Raptors and MJ's Bulls are second and third in this,
they won
this
the championship?
Yeah, they were pretty good. So I ask you this: when you look at something like that, sticking with the defense, do you credit players? Is this a coaching thing? What is this?
Well, I think it's first the system is great. The principle is having all these guys buy in and be on the same page and care about defense. You would believe how far effort goes. And so even last night, I think when they were during the SGA's MVP speech, like, these guys are always ready to play. You throw in a Mitchell out of nowhere, he's ready to play. You throw in Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe. These guys don't care if they just got played 20 seconds, if they didn't play last game. They're always ready, and they have a level of professionalism. Whether that's Sam Presti, whether that's Daigneault, whether that's how these guys are all made up, and they just happen to hit the lottery on all these guys, high character guys, but they're all just bought in. And I'm sure they think deep down when they go home, their friends, you could be averaging 20 on this, and maybe that's going to happen when these guys go and they leave and go to a different situation. But right now, they just seem like they're a team, they're connected, and they're all bought into the defensive end, which is rare.
Yeah, they got it all.
Especially that young. Like, you care about defense for that long? You care about how many points you scored, what everyone asks you. I feel like they don't care about that.
Yeah. No, and what you said was right. They have a complete buy-in, right? Like, they do have individual guys that can sit down and guard and take away some of your best players. But they're always going to make you play in the crowd. You got to earn everything that you get when it comes to OKC. That's what makes them a dangerous team. They don't care about their man scoring 20. They know that the ball scores. They always swarm that basketball, whether it's going downhill. All threes are contested, and they've made it difficult for Minnesota. And Julius Randle, he has to be the guy that breaks that wall down. He can't rely on just three-point shooting. You know, he shot the hell out of the ball all playoffs. The one game that you don't get it going from three, it was like you kind of floated away from the game. That is a great opportunity for you now to play with your back to the basket and become that bull in the china shop, that bully that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when Oklahoma City goes small and they put Caruso on Julius Randle or Caruso on Naz Reid, those guys need to be forces and trying to get in the paint, because guess what? Oklahoma City is going to swarm, and that's where you're going to have these opportunities to kick out, and then you just keep your fingers crossed that some of these threes are going to go in. But with that being said, Oklahoma City's defense, like, they have great individual defenders, but then as a team, it's like a collective job. So they're not leaving their one best defender out on an island. It's like, we're here right next to you, right on the side of you. And that makes it really tough to score.
And there's never a mismatch. There's never someone on the floor where, like, all right, we're going to attack this guy. Let's get this guy up in a pick and roll and go at him and try and expose their defense. They're all a unit. They're all on the same page. They're all just one. And it makes it so hard for any team to score.
As a matter of fact, they're giving you the mismatch because they keep putting Caruso on bigger guys.
Yep.
They're giving you the
Jokic
mismatch, and it's not going your way. Caruso, he's being disruptive. He's in your passing lanes. He's attacking your dribble when you're trying to back him down. He's being everything that you need him to be. So they're offering the mismatches. So even if you come into a pick and roll and we switch or we go into our rotations, now you have a bigger body on him, and that creates an issue for any offense. And it showed in this Minnesota series. Think about how they've been able to score with everybody. These guys can score in bunches, but when you can hold Julius Randle to a 6, you can hold Mike Conley to a 2 or a 4, Rudy Gobert not having an impact in this game, you're going to have a long series, even if you're going back home.
Yeah.
I have a question about hypothetical hats, and the word trio. Now, I don't want you guys to sort of interpret it as the big three. It's just the literal definition of trio. We're looking at SGA, Jalen Williams, and CHET Holmgren. They had an 86 points combined last night. So are we looking, I'll start with you, at the best trio in basketball? And now, starting next season, like, what are we looking at right now?
Yes, just look at the team success they've had. Look at the individual success they've had. They were talking about all-stars. They're all going to be max players. And you can look across the league. There's a lot of talent, right? There's a lot of older guys. I thought Philly's trio was going to be really good with Maxey, Paul George, Joel. No. Kevin Durant, Booker, Bradley Beal didn't really pan out like they thought. Boston Celtics, I don't even know who would be that third. Would it be Derek White? Would it be Drew Holiday? There's a lot of talent across the league, but if you look right now and you look at production and you look at potential and you look at wins, it's hard not to look at this three and obviously think it's the best trio now. It's the best trio for the future. Some talent in San Antonio, and obviously there's going to be some moves made, but yeah, and like Lou said, we touched on it before the show, they're not a trio. But if you look at the best three players in the NBA on the same team, I'd have to pick these three number one. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you saying that. I'm more on Lou's side, though. It is SGA and others. But at the same time, yes, if this is the best team, these are the three best players, and they're showing that right now. On both sides of the ball, too. Think about it. How often is, Jalen Williams was the all-defensive team, and he's an all, that matters to have two-way players. And all of them. Everyone, they have 14 two-way players on that team.
That's huge.
Lou Dort was on there, too, and Alex Caruso. Did he even get mentioned in that?
Cason Wallace and Caruso got smoked. They both could have been on there, just didn't play enough minutes.
That's an insane luxury to have. Lou, you sort of threw that in there like a throwaway line, but Denver, was that going to be the closest thing OKC has? And let's look ahead, because they're going to get Indy or they're going to get New York. So does it feel like Denver was their toughest competition?
I think OKC knew that. I think if they felt like if we can tough out this series, we may walk to the championship. And that's no disrespect to anybody. You know, I would have said that before they even got this matchup with Minnesota. It could have went the other way. They felt like that was probably going to be their toughest battle today. You know, you look how they played against Memphis. Then you go 7 games with Denver. Now you look at it again. 2 blowout wins, very convincing. I don't see them slowing down. Let's say they even do drop 1 in Minnesota. You're going back home with a 3-1 lead now. And we know how tough it is to play in OKC. So, again, they are separating themselves from the pack. This is a team that you're going to have to deal with for years and years to come. I don't care what you call them, trio, duo, it don't matter. OKC in 4, OKC in 5, but this team has a complete buy-in. They know that this is a moment. And I want to shine a light on SGA if he needs it. This is a great, great opportunity for him this year to cement himself in a different class of his peers right now. Okay. Like, you have a bunch of guys. You got Holly, you got Edwards, you got Luka, you got Jason Tatum, you got Brown. So many of these guys, Jason Tatum and Brown, they've reached that next level by getting a ring. SGA with an MVP and a ring in the season, he puts himself in that category of guys, and you create some separation. And I feel like they know that their moment is right now, and they're taking full advantage of it, and they're not letting go.
By the way, I said this in the Denver series. I think that Game 7, we're looking at the NBA champions in that series.
Yeah, whoever came out of that.
And I think Denver would have been more of a fight for Denver against Minnesota, and I still think Denver would have come out of that. But that Game 7 was so pivotal that, looking across, I mean, Knicks aren't beating the Thunder 4 times, and it's hard to imagine the Pacers are either, but at least the Pacers' offense can go and can shoot 50% from 3 and give them trouble. We're getting way far ahead of ourselves, but the Pacers are the only team in the Eastern Conference that have a chance of beating them.
On the SGA thing of it all, he's the only player in Thunder history with 5 games consecutively of 30 or more points. And we've already done the Jalen Brunson greatest Knick of all time, and here we are. Let's just go ahead and do this one. George.
Yes.
Greatest Thunder of all time.
I gotta say George like that.
Because I don't know how to say his name anymore. G-Dog.
We've been together a week. I thought we grew close. Thought I was going to stay on for another week, but
it's getting
late. No disrespect to...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, whatever.
I'm sorry.
No disrespect to Russ or KD, but if SGA brings them a championship, I would have to say he's probably the greatest Thunder.
And the manner in which he's doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you win MVP, you win a championship. They haven't seen a championship. I mean, it's going to happen for quite a while, I feel like.
Yeah, that's the key, is if they get one this year, they're not stopping anytime soon. This dude's 26 years old. This core is going to be together for so long. And even if they lose one or two, like I said, they're 14, 15 deep. They have all their picks. They have all their assets. So they're just going to continue to get better. So it's hard not to think that this dude is the greatest Thunder of all time. As good as Russ was with the MVP triple-doubles and Kevin Durant and James Harden, like, this guy's a different level when you win a championship, especially in this city, in this market. Like, he will mean everything to them. And like I said, and George said, it's going to be multiple.
Okay, but if that's the case, then if Jalen Brunson wins, is he the greatest?
I think
he's officially like, yeah, like.
I mean, Walt Frazier has a couple of rings, right? Like, I feel like.
Does Tyrese Halliburton pass Reggie Miller for greatest Pacer?
If they win?
Yeah.
It's the winning, I think.
All of this is about winning.
You get a ring. You get a ring that puts you in a different category.
It's all situational.
Absolutely.
I think
especially in places
ring puts you in the Hall of
never
Fame.
had one.
Ring puts you. That ring means a lot.
But you brought up Jalen Brunson. We can have our opinions. New York City is going to have a different one. Clyde Frazier is New York Knicks basketball.
Exactly.
Willis Reed is New York Knicks basketball. So if we're having that conversation, we're talking about legend, iconic guys way, way back. We're not having a conversation about, the recents, the Patrick Ewings, the Carmelo Anthonys, all of those guys. We're talking about the legends of the past.
I mean, we had Walt Frazier on the show when we were in New York, and he's like, we were asking him about the current crop of dudes and if they're the best. He's like, they don't have these, and he showed us his rings.
So the idea.
Yeah, like he's part of the conversation.
My bad, Walt. My bad.
But it will be a conversation, just if they can figure this out. SGA is frustrating a lot of people. So we already saw in the first game, Ant had the moment where he threw the ball at him and got teed up. Yesterday we get a Jaden McDaniels moment who gets a flagrant, and then he talked about it after the game. Here he is.